Hey, welcome to the Mission Podcast. I'm your show host, Brian Butler, and I'm honored to have with me a great citizen of Benbrook, an entrepreneur, a father, a full-time employee, Mr. Cameron Cummings. How are you, sir? And welcome to the Mission.
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Excellent. I didn't mention in the intro that the small business or the business that you own in Benbrook is called the Smoothie King. And one of my first questions is going to be, what's your favorite smoothie, sir?
Best one, I think, on the menu is lemon ginger spinach, which is not everyone's favorite, but
yeah.
Give it a chance. It's got it's not for those of you who are on a diet or have diabetes, but for the rest of us who can maybe drink whatever we want, it is the best one, in my opinion.
Yes. So you got a mix of lemon and some ginger and spinach. That combo works, huh?
It sounds terrible. But there's a lot of, I don't even remember how to make it anymore, but there's like bananas and juice and mango in there.
Okay.
And it's way better than it sounds. And plus it's got ginger in it, which is supposed to be good for you for all kinds of things. I don't know why, but ginger's supposed to be real good. So
well, that, I'm gonna have to try that one, because I'm an avid smoothie drinker. So I'm gonna have to, on a day where I'm gonna do 2 days in the gym, 2 times in the gym.
Yeah.
I'll try it on that day.
Or no desserts that day.
That day. Yeah, excellent. That's awesome. Hey, Cameron, we talked about, I highlighted real quick that you're a small business or a business owner. I don't even want to use the word small business because business is big business. You're a business owner in Benbrook. You own the Smoothie King. How did you go about making the determination to take on the journey of entrepreneurialism and owning a Smoothie King?
Yeah, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. That's just my drive. I don't know. I don't like to follow much. I prefer to lead. So working for someone just never sounded right. I did it forever.
Yeah.
Since I had a paper out at the age of 12, like I've worked for someone, but I just always thought, okay, eventually I'll be in charge.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dream got put off until I became an adult, early 30s, finally had an opportunity to get a loan and do the whole thing. And I'm not a creator. I can't create cupcakes or open a restaurant or, I don't know, fix your plumbing or build a house or anything. So my thing was to go into franchises, and I love smoothies. Just pursued that.
Yes.
And had the opportunity. So
you had the opportunity and you followed it.
I followed the opportunity. I want to say one thing to anybody who watches this.
Yes.
Like the whole Small Business Saturday and like support local business, that applies to franchises too. Because I'm just a local business owner. If that thing doesn't make money, that takes money away from my kids and wife. So I depend on money to come from that business, despite the fact that it's a franchise across the US. Small Business Saturday, don't ignore the franchises because those are owned by people.
Yeah. And particularly since a lot of my Facebook followers and Instagram followers, they are Benbrook citizens of Benbrook. So particularly come out and support, the businesses in Benbrook and obviously Smoothie King for sure. So yes, please. I love the plug. That was great.
And our whole little business spot right there that people don't go too much. We got the best donuts in town, in my opinion. 5 a.m. donuts.
Yep.
There's a comic book place, never been in yet, but looks good. The nail salon there is good.
Yeah.
Marco's or Mr. Jim's Pizza, whatever. All the stuff right there by Brahms.
Right.
Like we kind of get missed. People don't even know. I've been open 5 years. I've had people say, "Where's your Smoothie King?" I'm like, "It's right there on the main road."
Yeah. So, you mentioned that, and we know if entrepreneurialism was for everybody and owning a business with everybody, they'd be doing it. It's very hard work. It's very challenging. On your road to operating a successful business, what has been some of the challenges you faced?
So, I mean, it's one of those things. It's kind of like buying a house. You don't realize all the crap that goes into it until you buy a house.
Right.
This is 10 times worse. So you don't realize what it takes to open a business, especially when you have to go through a loan process, opening, construction, build out, your licenses and certifications, and state of Texas stuff you have to get, and oh my gosh, setting up sales tax, franchise tax. Like there's it's one of those things, having done it, if I had to go back and do it again, oh, I wouldn't do it. There's
Would
no
do
way.
it.
Too much work.
Use
Just
too
way
much
too much
work.
work.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
At least then I was so optimistic about how great it could be. And so I
Right,
was driven.
right,
But
right.
having done it and knowing how much work it is on the back end, like,
Yeah,
oh, I'd never do it again.
never do it.
But it's great when you do it the first time.
Right,
It's just
right.
like anything else. Like, you don't want to get married more than once. You go through
Agreed.
all that marriage stuff,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that wedding stuff. You
yeah.
don't want to do that again.
Yes.
It was great,
Yeah.
but I don't want to do it again.
Yes. Yes.
Same thing. It's
Yes.
great to own a business. I wouldn't want to start over.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, the number one challenge of small business or business ownership is
Yes.
having employees. Number one challenge.
Yep.
Without employees, anybody could own a business. Anybody could just push right through. But having
Right.
employees,
Right.
the people factor is the
Right.
biggest challenge. You know, when you own a small business, it's all yours. If you can't take any sick time, you can't step away for a month and just, like, you can't. It
Right.
is
Right.
it is on you
On you.
to make sure it keeps going.
Yeah. I think it's funny because most times people think like, if I only had my own business, I wouldn't have to answer to this boss, or I wouldn't have to do, I could sleep in late. I could do what I want to do. And it sounds like it's just the opposite of that is what
Yes.
you're experiencing.
Yes. That's exactly what I thought. I thought, I get this business in place, I get some people working, I can just step back,
Right.
make that cash. It'll be hard up front,
Yeah.
but I can step back and make that cash.
Yeah.
And it is definitely the opposite. There's
It's the
no
opposite.
It is the opposite. I gotta say, I mean, I'm still proud of bringing something to Benbrook that was finally a healthy option to compete with a multitude of fast food.
Yeah.
So that's probably my real proud moment, is that I brought something that is good for you instead of just bombarding all of us in Benbrook with fried, heavy, unhealthy things.
Right.
So that I'm still proud of. And I gotta say, I looked it up actually whenever I knew we were doing this. I've employed 93 people over the past 5 years.
That's awesome.
And so getting to do that
Yep.
is a blessing and a curse. I still pray for every one of them, even the ones I had to fire.
Yep.
Like, you want them to succeed in life. And I've made it my goal to try to teach them about life more than I teach them about being an employee.
Right.
And so that's a blessing. That I think if you have a drive to lead people, being a business owner and getting to hire them, interview them, pray for them, encourage them, like, that's a really cool thing that you get to do.
Yeah.
When you are the boss.
You talked about health. How important is health to you? Because you're a fit guy and I see you every morning.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just grew up as an athlete, love the competitive nature of it, love the leadership nature of it. I think team sports give everybody a great perspective of being part of the whole. So that concept led me to play a lot of sports. And then just I don't know, just one of those things. I don't like the idea of settling. I'm not a settler. I don't settle under any circumstance. That's just kind of my drive, my personality. And so, like, settling in the way that some of my very close friends that I've been friends with for decades, like getting into that married life, getting out of that single life, they start to settle for, I don't really need to go to the gym all the time. And then it turns into I don't go at all.
Yep.
And I really like hamburgers and steak, and like, you can go down that path really easily, especially when you're married to a great woman who says she doesn't care what you look like, but let's be honest. So it's really easy to get on that path.
Yes,
and I don't like the idea of settling in any circumstance. So for me, it's just a matter of priority, like, the same people who have the same responsibilities I do, the same age, whatever stage of life, we're identical. I just make it a priority to physically take care of my body, which means I go to the gym every day, except for Sunday, because my wife asked me not to.
Yes.
And then I like to eat healthy because I've realized how my body feels when I eat healthy, and I know for sure how my body feels when I don't eat healthy.
Right.
And so I'm not eating healthy all the time, you know. My
Yep.
son and I made a chocolate cake yesterday, and I had some last night.
Yep.
You know, so I'm not, and we're having hamburgers tonight. It's special. It's like
Yep.
a treat yourself night. We're gonna have
Mhm.
hamburgers. So it's not like complete self-denial. It's
Yeah.
just that I feel like our culture doesn't like the concept of balance. You know, like come into my store and have a smoothie for lunch one day
Yeah.
and see how you feel for that day when that is your lunch. And then the next day, go get you a burger and fries for lunch and see
Right.
how you feel that day
Right.
and how your afternoon is that day.
Right.
And then compare the two. And I think just honestly, just common sense wise, you start to feel which one gives you more energy, gets you through the day better, which one like, you know, like unhealthy, greasy things naturally have a depressing effect on you. And so your day is harder, you're more tired.
Yep.
And I felt that and I just don't like feeling that. So I kind of just go the healthy route, exercise. I want to prevent getting old as long as I can. So I hit the
Yeah.
gym as much as I can.
Hmm.
Just that whole thing of I've seen the benefits. And I
Yeah.
think if everybody feels the benefits, they really would learn that balance,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It's funny because I was talking to my wife this morning. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were talking about how the majority of people, Americans specifically, don't exercise. And a good amount of the ones that do look at it as a punishment or a chore, and they don't really enjoy the exercise. And then they quit. And I was talking to my wife, I was like, and she said, well, yeah, that's easy for you. You've been an athlete your whole life. And I said, yeah, well, she said, you've been exercising your whole life. You've been an athlete your whole life. I said, yeah, the thing is, I was doing it as a kid. I didn't know it was called exercise. It was called riding your bike through the neighborhood and playing basketball with your friends and playing throw up tackle football and baseball and soccer. I didn't know it was called exercise. I called it, just activity and sport and hanging out. And yes, it became my lifestyle as I got older and going to college and playing and so on and so forth. But I really didn't know that people had such an aversion to exercise. It blew me away. I was like, what?
Yeah.
30 minutes a day? I mean, just go for a walk. It's confusing to me, but I respect everybody's choice. But healthier I think is better. So what you're doing,
Yeah.
I think is best.
I mean, it's just think about it, just blows my mind. It's like you can't get it across to people, but I mean, just think about a day. You know, hard work is hard. So obviously, instinctively, you're not going to choose anything that's hard because easy is easy.
Right.
But the feeling you get when you finish something hard, like the feeling you used to get in school when you finished a 10-page report
Yep.
and it was freaking hard and you hated it and you'd
Yep.
rather not do it, but when you get it done, that like feeling of satisfaction and
Yes. Yep.
completion, like just getting to have that with anything, like you said, nobody has
Right.
to go to the gym 2 hours a day like I do.
Right.
You don't have to do that. I'm
Right.
at the gym from 5 to 7:30 every morning. You
Yep.
don't have to do that. That's my choice, and that's what makes me feel good.
Right.
But my wife likes to go for walks. You know,
Right.
I have friends that go to walks. I have friends who what they do is play basketball. I have
Yep.
friends
Yep.
who go out and play tennis. Like as long as you're finding what you enjoy to do exercise, you feel better
Right.
after.
Feel better.
And then the same thing, like I said, like you can't tell me you don't feel better when you've had like a healthy breakfast versus like when you had 6 donuts for breakfast. You know, like we're not dumb. Our brains are
Yeah.
designed a certain way
Yeah.
to know how we feel
Yeah.
after those 2 things.
Right.
And
Right.
so just rewarding yourself with that good sense of accomplishment
Yes.
more often than not.
Right. More
And then
often
you
than
can
not.
have those treat days,
Yep.
have those nights out of just slopping down some burgers and fries,
Right.
like have those because
Yep.
that's a great feeling too.
Yep.
But it's when that becomes your norm,
Right.
you forget what it's like to
Right.
have that sense of accomplishment and a sense of taking care of yourself and that good feeling from eating healthy food and
Yep.
doing hard work. Like you
Yep.
start to forget that,
Yep.
and then we become a generation of video gamers who stare at their phone all day and eat bad food.
Yep. That's
It's
that's
very
just
easy to fall into that because that's the
yes,
easy
it is.
route.
But between getting up, being and moving around and just walking. If we combine that with some good smoothies, some good smoothies from Smoothie King, hey, I think people are gonna win. If they can combine those two things. So our conversation has been good. We've talked health, we've talked healthy alternatives. If they combine those two things, go to Smoothie King, folks. Get you a good smoothie, and also maybe take a couple laps around the business area right there. Just do a couple laps after you get your smoothie. You'll be much better.
Get you some good Asian food, and the next day get you a smoothie to balance it out.
There you go. There you go. Everything in moderation. Hey, well, hey, Cameron, I've enjoyed the conversation. I appreciate you joining the mission. And before we go, if I'm asked 3 questions, and the 3 questions of this, if somebody's looking for energy, what smoothies should they get to help boost their energy? What do you think?
So I think we brought it back. It's called the Pep Upper.
Okay.
I used to drink it when I worked at Sewell, and man, you drink one of those, it's like cranking a Mountain Dew. Like, you are going.
Very nice.
So the Pep Upper is there, and then you can take any smoothie and add a specific thing that's only ours. It's called Pure Recharge.
Okay.
You can do a half dose or a full dose, and that gets you cranked. That thing,
Nice.
you are going. So
Okay.
I will also say, just on a personal note, I really like the drink Celsius. It's becoming real popular. I've been buying it from my store for years.
Yeah.
Before it was so showing up everywhere.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy that. That's the smoothies where I get my vitamins, nutrients, protein, and then the Celsius is kind of where I get my pre-workout.
Nice.
I kind of do that combo myself.
Nice. You said you sell that in your store?
I sell that in my store. I carry every flavor because I think it's a great product. So
awesome.
Carry every single flavor.
All right. I'll have to try one myself. So, second question, if someone is looking to put on muscle, what smoothie would you tell them to try? They're looking to put muscle on.
Gladiator Protein is a Smoothie King exclusive.
Okay.
It was made by an ex-Dallas Cowboy.
Oh, really?
He created the protein himself. He worked with scientists, made and engineered it the way he wanted it. So it's a low net carb. It's not 0 net carb. It's a lower net carb. And it's just got a good mixture of whey and other proteins in a way that keeps it low sugar, low carb. I drink it literally every day.
Yes.
I've gotten to where I don't even have to put it in smoothies anymore. I just drink it with water.
Okay. Okay.
We sell it in the store. You can just buy it and have it at home drinking water like I do.
Yeah.
Or you can get Gladiator smoothies, and the Gladiator smoothie is the ones you make whatever you want. You choose 2 fruits and they just make it.
Yeah. So the last one is, if someone is looking to lose weight, which smoothie would you say they should try?
So I'm going to give you opposites.
Okay.
We carry Lean One smoothies. Those are going to be your simplest ones to get protein, but also to get a lean protein. So you're not getting all the bad stuff you don't want. You're just getting the good stuff. So Lean One smoothies are the best way to go.
Lean One. Okay.
But something cool that people don't realize is we have a smoothie called the Hulk. And people look at it as like, oh my gosh, why would you get a smoothie that has butter pecan ice cream in it and it has like 1,500 calories? Like, it is insane. But it's insane. Everything we sell has a purpose. That smoothie was created by the founder of Smoothie King because he had a friend going through cancer treatment. And his friend, she could not put on weight, and she couldn't hold any food down, and she kept getting thinner and thinner and thinner through all this treatment of chemo. And so he created this smoothie that she really enjoyed. And so he put it on his menu because he said, hey, this still serves a purpose. Yes. It's not for people wanting to lose weight or exercise, but it is for people wanting to put on weight. And so we had a guest that came in once a week for months because her husband was going through cancer treatment. And he could not hold anything down. And she was like, I have to figure out some way to get calories in him so he can keep doing the treatment. Like, he has to have calories.
Yep.
And she started buying a Hulk smoothie from us once a week, and she would divide it up into smaller doses, and he could handle just eating a small dose of it. But it's designed in a way to where that small dose was like a couple hundred or a few hundred calories.
Yes.
And so he was able to take something in, and we were the only thing he was taking in. She was like, he can't hold anything else down, but
Wow.
he drinks your smoothies.
Yeah.
And again, that's not promoting our business. I just love the fact that we're able to help her.
Yeah.
And we've helped other people going through cancer treatment, or people who can't put on weight. We've helped them too. So that smoothie actually serves the opposite purpose.
Yeah.
But those are really good stories too. I love those
Yes.
stories of how we were helping those people.
Yes. Right there, folks. Those are 4 great smoothies. But before we go, let people know the address of the store, your store hours, and why they should come out and support.
Yeah, we're open pretty much 7 to 9 every day but Sunday. Sunday we're open a little shorter from 10 to 8. But 7 to 9 every day. And we are right there. I always tell people right across from Chick-fil-A. Like, we are literally across the street from Chick-fil-A. You can't miss us. I got a sign on both ends of the building. It's lit at night.
Thanks for joining me on Welcome to the Mission.
All right, brother. Thanks.
All right, my brother.